Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, everybody. Carl Bryan coming at you. I nearly called myself Patrick Bell. But anyways, there you go. It's my birthday today, guys, and I'm working too darn hard for such a handsome man on his birthday. But anyway, so this is not Patrick Bell. This is Carl Bryan, but I am joined by the legendary Patrick Bell, who we put on Facebook. There you go. There we go. Do that. The trumpet. There we go, man. How you doing, Pat? What's going on, brother?
Oh, it's a good day. We had of course, we're showing the digital acceleration software yesterday and the results analysis tool. We can take questions around those, but man, we've just had, I don't know, dozens and dozens and dozens of people picking up this digital acceleration software. So my day is kind of busy with some support and stuff. It's all
just
good.
a little bit. Just a little bit. It has been action-packed around here, folks. Action-packed. So good stuff. But anyway, that's all good. Okay, so as per always, guys, and everybody saying happy birthday, of course. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. This is a Q&A call. So what I need you guys to do is ask us some questions, and we will pound through them. So if you have anything for us, and again, no doubt, digital acceleration, hoping that you'll have a few questions around that, or we'll no doubt have a little bit of dialogue around that. And if you weren't on the call last night, you should have been because you missed out, but you can grab the recording. So if you didn't see it, you probably want to go and have a bit of a look, because Pat walked us all through kind of just, digital acceleration, the genesis of it, where to get it, and just kind of some of the magic. So do that. There we go. If you look at Pat's screen here, you can see, is that already up? Oh, there you go, October 7th. So is it already posted, Pat?
Yeah, it's there. It's posted.
We're quick, dude. We're quick.
Yeah, so I told William about this, and I sent him to this page. He wanted to know, he was really pleased to hear that there was a great reaction, and really William's the one behind coding everything to make it work, and it's just far beyond anything I can do or ever want to do. And thankfully, there's people of his genius level that we get to work alongside. So.
Yes, awesome, dude. Awesome. It's impressive stuff. So anyway, so we will do that, guys. Hang on, sorry, I'm just double tasking here. Okay, so look, let's open up the lines. Get this show on the road. There we go. Dave McKenzie's got his hand up. So we're coming for Dave. And again, if you guys have any questions, either raise your hand or chuck it in the chat box, and we will come to you guys. So Dave, I'm coming for you first, buddy. Dave, you are live.
Hey, how you doing?
Fabulous, buddy. What's going on?
Good. Happy birthday.
Thank you. 49 years old today. Isn't that the most exciting birthday of all time? The next year I've got a
big one next year.
Yeah, I know. Oh God, I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about something else.
Change the subject. A couple of questions.
Please do.
One, I went in to do the registration last night based on the website you showed, Patrick, and it didn't really look like a LPW website. I was just wondering, can you bring that up and just see if I was on the right thing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was just probably a very quick website we put together. Let me see here. Okay. No results-no-fee.com/DA software.
Okay. Is that what it looked like, Dave?
No, that's not what it looked like at all on that. Okay. You know what? I might have put SA software, not DA software, but anyway. Okay. No. Okay. Answers one question. That answers one question. Second question. You said actually on Tuesday's call and again last night that this might not be for everyone. Patrick, explain that to me.
Yeah. This whole world of digital marketing is this infinite world, and you have to have at least a basic grasp of the core concepts throughout it. You have to know how to explain, articulate things like someone says, what is content marketing? You can't hum and haw during those things. You have to know how to articulate what it is, how it can help people. And maybe you kind of have an idea, but you just have to get some time and practice it and practice how to articulate it. You have to know what SEO is. You have to know your way around a little bit. And so if that's not your world, like if you're not in the world of digital marketing, I would not try and coach in digital marketing. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense, and I'm not in that world, but do I need to be in that world? I'm hearing it a lot.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'd say depend how many more years you want to play in the game. Like if you're thinking, I don't know how old you are, Dave. I mean, you sound like you're about 45. That's how your voice sounds, but I don't want to assume.
64.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you've got about 30 years to go. Do you want to play in the game? Now you think I'm joking, but I have a countdown app on my phone that shows I've got, let me see here, 38 years, 329 days, 9 hours. So it brings me to 94.
Perfect.
Do you really?
Perfect.
I do actually, and it teaches me two things.
That's awesome. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I'll show you next time I see you, Carl. It teaches me two things. One is I've got a whole career ahead of me. And so even though I'm 55 years old, it's not time to hang up anything and think about going playing golf. I've got a solid 30 years of work left, and that's what I plan to do because I don't really believe in retirement. Secondly,
Well, I'm looking at 20. My dad farmed till he was 84, so
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Secondly, I watch the seconds ticking away on my app, and I go, it's time to get to work. Let's not sit around here. So if you want to get in the game and you want to devote yourself to learning this and you think it's going to be useful to you,
Yeah.
then you have to realize you've got to do the study and put the time in. And if it's going to be a challenge for you, then I just say bring in a partner who already knows it and focus on the core issues that you think you should focus on and let someone else be the expert in digital marketing. Like, I think there's enough young people you could team up with, and the world is just awash with digital marketers. If you focus on the core strategies and let them focus on the tactical digital things, you guys might be a great team. And you'll actually probably save yourself a ton of headache for a number of years because this is a very fast-moving, very broad, comprehensive, multi-layered area of marketing that it will consume you for years to get up to speed, possibly. That's my take. I'm not super technical. Like, I know some things, but like for me to figure out how to hook up things, I'd just rather hire someone else to do it.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I'll take on that.
Yeah. Actually, Dave, I'd like to just chime in a little bit too for the benefit of you and everybody else. Because Pat, high five, I totally agree with that. So like, look, Pat just said it really well. It's a world that, you know, is foreign to many, but it's not one that we recommend. You know, if you're going to be in this thing long term, you know, it's something you should really get your head around. But let me give you another example, Dave, right? You've probably heard me say this in some way, shape, or form before. You know, like we go to a digital marketer, and I kind of make fun of them, right? Where Facebook ads are a solution for everything, right? Facebook ad this, Facebook ad that. And then what percentage of businesses should really be doing a Facebook ad? What, can we agree like 10% are ready for it? Like I think everybody should probably work it out, including Coke, Pepsi, all of us, right? Yeah. But are they ready, and are they ever going to get ready? And this is the magic question mark, right? So basically the digital marketer gets into the business and then they're crazy to turn on Facebook ads before they do a little bit of a run through, like, tell me your offer. Do you have an upsell? Do you have a downsell? Do you have a cross sell? Like all those basics, right? What is the answer? Again, just 80% of the time, if not 95, is no, no, and no. So before you turn on Facebook ads, it would just make sense that we start there instead. Or like Pat loves to go to raising prices, right? Which totally makes sense because you literally put money into bank accounts. So if the digital marketer did that first, obviously it would make a little bit of sense, right? So no doubt you picking up what I'm saying, like you're picking up what I'm putting down, like you'd agree with what I just said about a digital marketer being able to understand the stuff that we all know, you know, at a really intimate level. You agree with that?
I agree 100%. And that's what so many of them don't get. It's not about where they're advertising, it's what's the message.
Yep. But
I
now what I
basically
want to do, I
billboard
want to go
today
the
that was
other way
terrible.
though. If I can, let's imagine we're all digital marketers. We're all digital consultants instead of a bunch of business consultants.
Right.
Wouldn't it be fair to say it's on the shoes on the other foot where, look, these dummy business consultants are running around and they're teaching people, upsell, downsell, cross sell, and raising their prices, but they can't, they can hardly log into Facebook, let alone manage, what I mean, to deal with it. So I don't think that we need to all become digital superstars, but to not understand some basics around digital marketing, I think it's a mistake. And the good news is it's really not that complicated. And enter digital acceleration software. All you need to do is go poke your nose around and go through, the categories that we created, go through the questions that we've created as a result of those categories. And then very importantly, go to the answers at the back of the book, okay, which are very simply in the same place that they are in the Profit Jumpstart. You're going to find them in the Digital Profit Jumpstart, but you just, you click the implementation steps. All of the categories are there, and bingo. Actually, there you go. Could you do that for us, Pat? It's perfect. So you end up, you're going to go to the answers at the back of the book. There we go. And now click any one of those, buddy, please. And boom. And so now you're thinking like, how in the heck do I don't know, my email. So here's email marketing action steps. The answers at the back of the book, step by step, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, boom. So anyways, do you kind of follow me on that one? You see how it kind of goes both ways?
So what you're saying is this is where I could learn.
And your client could learn. And there's a process to be able to, like when we really, look, think of, you saw Pat's presentation last night, didn't you?
Yep.
Right, see, you know how, remember the big pie chart and then he put up the little arrow, like start here, right? It was like, oh my God, like, yeah, right. So it's kind of the same, you know what I mean? So it's just so the answer to that is yes, yes, and yes. It's such a powerful tool in many, many ways. So I know look, and Dave, it's not dissimilar to me a little while ago. Like I wanted to learn, accounting and finance is not something, I failed grade 8 math, something that does not come, naturally to me at all. But I'm like, you know what? Mastery to me is, I'm not competing against Pat. I'm not competing against Adrian. I'm not competing against you. I'm competing against me. Right. And I want to become the best business consultant the planet's ever seen. Like that's, you know what I mean? That's just where I want to get to. Well, not under, saying that math freaks me out is a really, really poor excuse for not learning, and it's not like I'm an accountant. I don't want to be an accountant, but I want to understand what accounting means to a business owner. And that was just something I dove into. So I don't want to, that was just the attitude, right? So mastery to me is improving, becoming better today than I was yesterday and better tomorrow than I am today. And you just continue that and you get that compounding effect. And then, and you say eventually you become dangerous, but because of the compounding effect, it happens a lot like you get that exponential curve at some stage. So I hope that's not off on too much of a tangent, but that's I really think that this is something you should absolutely dive into, and here's the tool to do it. So
yeah, perfect.
That's my answer.
I guess we would do that. We could very easily do this after we have them as a client through the profit acceleration software on the the Breakthrough 40 or something we can add down the road. Not necessarily start with this.
No, yeah, exactly. That's dip your toe in the water. Pat, would you agree? Anything that you'd add there, bud? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, just maybe chip in with something that I've gone through in my life as well. Back in 2008, SEO was coming out big, and I really took a lot of time to master things like that. So I could Google something, something around my website, I'd have all top 10 spots. Like, I was really going for it back then. I was doing seminars, things like that. And then I got out of that game for 2 or 3 years, and I wanted to get back in it. And things had changed so much that I tried to implement something on SEO for a client, and I really screwed it up. And I'm like, okay, either I'm going to be in the space, fully in it, or I'm not. And I've tried going back and forth in it a while, and I just, for me, at least, it might, I agree with Carl that we should have a working knowledge of the terms, and at least like that. But in terms of implementing something, let's say SEO, There are people who just spend their life doing SEO and nothing else. And for me to think that I'm going to actually go in and do a great job and be aware of all the updates and algorithms that Google puts out and want to do that is just something that just doesn't interest me at all. But I do want to partner with someone who's an expert in it. So it's, I think, a matter of what am I really good at, and then how can I stick to my strengths? That's right, strengths theory, right? You just get good in your strengths, because if you work in the areas you're weak, you're just going to be average in everything. So get really good, for example, at coaching people, consulting with people around the core, and then bring in someone who's really good at the digital marketing, and they already love it. It could be some guy who's like 25, 30 years old, whatever, and they just love what they're doing, and they love to live in that world, and then you're like super strong on both fronts. That would be my take.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks,
Go.
guys.
Awesome. Good job, buddy. Okay, man, I'm going to put you back on mute. Marcos, you are live. How are you, my friend?
Hey, hello, guys. Can you hear me?
We can. How you doing?
Yes, great. Thank you. Yes, interesting conversation. I just want to add that definitely, this is a great opportunity to create a joint venture with digital marketers and other professionals in the area, and we get focused on the strategies. That's mainly what we can offer. I feel that, this is an opportunity for us to integrate a lot of knowledge in different fields and integrate it in an excellent coaching for any business owner.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree. Great opportunity. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Once I understand all the theory, I practice a lot with the software, and I can see the utility. I feel that I need to integrate all the information that it has. But what is scared me is, okay, now we have a plan, business owners, and this is what we have to do. So I don't know how to do that after that. I don't know.
Okay, so you're talking about the application of the digital strategy. Is that what you mean?
Once the strategy is finished, how can I implement this strategy?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's what Pat just said. Don't try to pretend like you're the SEO guy or the Google AdWord guy, unless, of course, you want to go and learn those skills, and that would be great. But no, you partner with other people who are really good at that.
Okay. What about the material from from WLS? Can we use this material?
Yeah, you could do that. Just what Pat was saying earlier, though, to think that you're going to become the expert in SEO, we're just not going to, we just don't recommend that. There's just a lot of moving parts. It changes, one day Google, catches a cold. Everything changes the day after that. So you just go partner with somebody who's really good at it, but get a working knowledge of the basics. Like, you want to understand SEO. You want to understand how Google AdWords work. You want to understand, Facebook and the way the algorithm works, right? Like, I'll give you an example. Like in Facebook, when you put up a photo on Facebook and you're advertising, you'll see you want to have a man and a woman. Why do you want to have that? Because men prefer to look like, there's men and women looking at the photo. If there's a man and a woman, so think of like a marriage photo, you'll get better engagement on average with that photo than just a guy or just a gal.
That's right.
Right? So, Facebook, they want people to be happy. So when they take the photos and they can actually see that there's like this is getting a lot too technical for right now, but I'll just give you an idea, like understanding that a photo that is taken outside with the sky, with a man and a woman, and then they have smiles on their faces, like they're having a good time. Well, literally Facebook, no, they don't need to look at the photo. They've got artificial intelligence to basically come over top of the photo, determine that, and then that photo will get a higher level of ranking than a photo where there's only a guy and he's inside sitting behind a computer, like with 100% certainty. And it's on that level. So you want to probably understand that, right? So, but does that mean that I'm going to go and then be the Facebook ad guy? No, I'm not going to do that. But and that was maybe even a little too technical of an example, but just understanding overall strategy is what we've been saying, and then get somebody to do the deployment when the time comes. Okay.
Yeah, I got the idea, and I like it. I mean, I think that we can define the strategy and get support to do the rest. But my question is about this material is then mainly for us to use to get the strategies from there. It is not material for use. It's more than to strategize any campaign or any procedure.
Sorry, Pat, are you following the question, Pat?
I'm not quite following, but Mike, if I'm
let
on
me,
the right
let
track.
me clarify myself. I mean, at the beginning, I was confused about, well, with all this material, all this, what I'm going to do with all this material. So now my question is, now I am understanding that this material is not for me to create graphic designs or anything. It's just mainly to use for me to create the ideas of where I want to work.
So, I mean, that goes back to if you want to be a coach or a consultant. If you're coaching, you're going to advise people what to do maybe, and then they go and do it. If you're going to consult, you're going to do it for them. And so if you expand into the area of digital marketing, my point is that you need to know what you're doing if you're going to be consulting for people. And I'm not sure that's the smartest thing unless you already know what to do.
Okay, great.
So let me give you an example here as well. This was from that pie chart example. And here we have all these areas of the core, and there's a couple dozen there. And then we go in one area of, where was it? In more leads, we've got digital marketing. And each one of these 15 or 20 areas is an area you could specialize in, and you could become an expert in SEO. And there's companies built around this one thing. And there's there's books and books written on content marketing, and books and books and courses written on search engine marketing. So to become the expert or an expert, a relative expert, and advise a client in one area will consume a lot of your time and energy to learn that material and put it into practice and get results for people. So if you look at the craziness of this, we go to this slide. This is our core. This is where you want to be the expert. Now, we've created the digital acceleration software for those people, those coaches who are already quite proficient in digital marketing. And so now we're over on the side here. We're only looking at this one sliver of the core. And this is, of course, where the world is going as well. So if we want to be an expert in digital marketing, we're going to have to really study it, or else we're doing a disservice to our clients. Or we can just partner with someone who's already an expert. And actually, it might be a great thing, because if you can do a joint venture with a digital marketing agency, they've already got clients. So you can come in as their expert on the core ideas, and they bring you more business. And then as you go out and get clients, you can bring them business for clients who need digital marketing.
Yeah, and I agree with this idea. Fantastic. Thank you very much for this.
Awesome. Good job, Marcos. Thanks, buddy. Okay, cool. I'm going to put you back on mute. Great questions going here, guys. Gary, I am coming for you, buddy. Gary, there he is. Gary, you live.
Hey, how are you?
Fabulous, buddy. What's going on?
Oh, very good. Look, yeah, just I suppose it's recapping what we've already talked about, but you've got to focus on your strengths, and I think go back to our base premise of being a technician versus a strategist. I mean, our role, quite simply, is you're a strategist going in to advise. You're not going to do every part of the process. That's then full-on consulting. You don't want to do that. Otherwise, you're in the wrong business. So understanding what you're doing, what this DAS software does, really, in my view, it was one weakness in the LPW offering. It was an opportunity gap. You've now closed that gap. So now you've got a more complete strategy solution. So doubling down on your strengths, that's strategy. And there is no way, I mean, if you're talking about fixed and variable costs, what we do is strategy and the traditional method, of what we've been taught, that's your fixed. Your variable, which will change with the wind, the tide, the current, is going to be your digital, like you're saying. So you're always better off to outsource that component because you can't control it and get the current experts to come in, and you're going to get your client to pay for that anyway. So that's all good, but you become the genius who's told them what to do, how to get there. The secret to achieving your digital marketing success, well, plug into this guy. How do I do this? Plug into this guy. But this is what you got to do. We've got the plan strategically. Now you got to get it tactically fulfilled. And you can't be all things to all people. You've just got to define your position.
Yeah, agreed. And high five, Gary. I would agree, man. I would agree. So you like what you see so far, Gary?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's very good. For me, I've always really identified that as being a key gap, but it's also the one of incredible white noise, overwhelm, and you're right. It's rabbit hole after rabbit hole and time wasting. You've got to really just double down on what you're good at. You cannot be ignorant of it, I don't think. I mean, I don't think any coach here would probably go to a business where digital or some sort of social media isn't talked about. I mean, it's been in the vernacular for years, so it's nothing new. So we've got to play catch up and just get across it. But you're purely there to devise a strategy about how it will work in. I mean, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, agreed. High five. Actually, you just brought something to my Pat. You know what I think we should do? We should move compelling offer and market dominating position towards the top, if not the top. Again, because if you want to market on the internet, you need a compelling offer. Otherwise, conversation over. I think those should be moved to the top. Do you agree with that, Pat?
Well, in the past we've looked at let's cut costs. Let's do that first. But we can talk about it. I mean, there's so many important things. I think market dominating position is absolutely, it's the foundation of marketing, and that's what they have to have in place. So I would agree. They want to go there quickly. So, maybe. Yeah, let's talk about it.
And I meant more on digital, by the way. But okay, that's cool. We'll chat about that. All good. Okay, cool. And Gary, we still got you. We're gonna put you back on mute. Appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, Carl.
Next up.
Yeah, Carl, I had a question offline today, which I just wanted to bring out to people, and it really goes back to the basics again. Let's just say, I'll take this company for an example. And here we have a $1 million company, and they've seen an increase in revenue of $519,000. Well, right now, their profit is $200,000 because that's a 20% net profit margin. Now, this person was thinking that when you have an increase of $519,000, you say, well, the increased profit should be 20% of that increase in revenue, which is about $105,000, $104,000. And they're saying, well, the profit increase is $294,000. How can this be? Because it's jumping so much from 200,000 to 494. And so just a reminder to our coaches that when you see an increase in revenue, or you find them an increase in revenue, you always measure the profit impact against their gross profit margin. In our financials here, we have gross profit margin of 50%. Now, the reason we use this, a little note here, you can measure the increased sales by gross profit margin. You may have to pay commissions and hard costs, but you're left with a higher percentage than net profit margin. So if we find an impact for a business, we say, hey, if you did this, you made an impact there of 3%, whatever, you're measuring now the impact there by gross profit margin, because you've already paid the rent, the salary, the insurance, all those things. You may have to pay commissions or whatever, but you're measuring that impact by gross profit margin. So that's why the number looks bigger here. Any questions around that or any further explanation there, Carl?
No, that's perfect. I just hope that they got it because it's insanely powerful.
Now,
it's just, so it comes, and Pat, it comes back to the example we're talking about earlier. It's not all about driving, like lead generation, Facebook ads. Like that's the problem, right? Like they're missing out on those huge opportunities to make small incremental improvements, but that provide you 50, 60% margins instead of, significantly smaller that depending upon what the activity is.
Yeah. So here on this noresults-nofee.com/software, there are training videos around this, and you can see here finding an impact in the profit jumpstart. You can go there. It's around a 4 or 5 minute mark. It starts explaining that again. If you're really a little bit confused on that, you can go there.
Awesome. Perfect. You champion. Okay, we'll go. Are you all good on that one, Pat? Do you want to?
Yep, I'm good. Good.
Okay, cool. We're going to open up Michelle. Michelle, we're coming for you. Michelle, you're self-muted. There she is. Michelle, you're live.
Oh, good. Good morning. How are you? Happy birthday.
Hey. Oh, thank you very much. What's happening?
No problem. Just 2 questions. The first one's pretty easy. And I've just been playing around on that results analysis tab. And is the date format just on a month-by-month basis?
No, let me show you.
Can you? Okay, yeah, cool. Thanks.
So this is, and by the way, this is going to be updated tomorrow. It's going to look a little different, some different colors and things like that, but William's working on that now. So what you do, you click in here. If I want to, first you want to do the first date. So I might say August 1st, and then I'm going to go till today. Let's say, you can do any date in there. And I come up with, for me, I just did 3 different companies. So that's how that works. You can do it by month. You could do, let's see what I have from July 1st.
I could see that the companies were coming up. It's just that I had that date range it's to see how the date range hasn't actually changed.
Oh, okay. No, the date range, actually, you're right. It doesn't show different in there, but it does show the right date.
That's because I could see the companies that I'd done in the last week coming up, but the date, so that's fine. I was doing it correctly, so that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll ask William to fix that as well.
Yeah, no, that's all right. It just when if I want to do, it just wasn't true. That's all. But yeah, no, that's good. And the other question I had was more around JV with the new software, which I love. I've got a relationship at the moment with a marketing company, and they're a marketing broker. So what they do is that they then will meet with a client and then work out where the needs are and then outsource it and get a kickback from, say, their copywriter or their SEO, personal Facebook ads person, whoever. And I'm just thinking I might need to change that relationship, because to me that's a bit of a double up. If I'm using this software to go in and find problems and work with a client on them, it's almost like I should probably source my own copywriter, my own SEO, my own. Do you know what would you say to that?
So I would definitely have your own person that you could go to and more partner with them. Think about like a sales function in an organization. Like, what does a salesperson get? And it's not a referral fee of 5% or 10%. A salesperson, you might get 25%, 50%, whatever of the sale. So you want to, if you're finding the breakthroughs and you're bringing them business, that is not a 5%. Here's $100 or a $50 Starbucks card or whatever. I mean, you're getting well for that, and you should be getting paid well as long as the client is making money. And so don't go with something who says, hey, I'll give you 10% of the first deal, but after that, we're getting all the money. Forget that. Go with someone who's going to pay you ongoing.
Yeah, no, with this one, we haven't actually got it because it was been a bit of a reciprocal thing, although I think it's been a bit skewed. So I have been thinking that I probably should get my own ones and control it from that perspective, because once I pass them over, I lose control of, like, we've had issues with building 2 websites at the moment, and the copywriter is crap. Like, I've sent it back, we've got one we've sent back 3 times, and it's just, but I don't, because I'm not dealing directly with the copywriter, I can't get the message across. So it has been on my mind, and now seeing this, I'm thinking I need to, and the other thing is, my daughter's a journalist who does social media. So, I mean, it's a nice, I can see,
Yep.
I can see how I can build out a much bigger picture doing it myself than using these marketing brokers.
Yeah. Michelle, I want to chime in with absolute, I've got a buddy who's, he's pretty big news. He's worked with Steve, he refers to, Steve Jobs and then Woz, back in the Atari days. Anyways, kind of long story short, very smart guy and incredibly, successful. And he's got a saying, control everything, do nothing. Right. Which, by the way, and that's not necessarily realistic for us mere mortals. But that being said, it's a pretty good framework, right? You're giving away control, and that's you've clearly identified it, but that's a problem. So yeah, I wouldn't be doing that. Makes sense?
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, absolutely. And I've just joined another networking group where there's a lot of individual people that I can connect with and give something back that way. So it sort of works better with the direction that I'm heading in. And I'm a bit of a control freak anyway. So it's, yeah.
Well done. You and Pat will get along well then. There we go. He's a control freak.
I'm not working till 99 though.
Awesome. Okay, Michelle, is that it? Any other questions?
Yeah, no, that's it. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Okay.
Have a good day.
You bet. Oh, actually, hang on a sec. Let me just. And Michelle, by the way, where are you? Where are you?
I'm on the Sunshine Coast, Queensland. God's country.
We can't stand you. We're all angry. We all
near Noosa on the beach. It's beautiful.
Actually, my dad's here participating here. Just hang on a sec. Say hi to my dad. I call him Skinny. Dad, say hi.
Hey, Dad.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I'm from Coogee Bay. All you Australians.
There we go. Do you hear that, Michelle? My dad lived in Coogee Bay. So when I moved to Australia, I used to live in Melbourne. So he gave me a very, very hard time for years going, what are you still living in Melbourne for, you dumb, blah, blah, blah. So
I was actually born in Coogee. So, yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
He was born in Coogee.
Yeah.
93 Coogee Bay Road.
You hear that? 93 Coogee Bay Road, my dad just said. That was his address. So there you go.
Okay.
He's pumped.
Very good.
He'll talk about Coogee Bay all day if we let him. Okay, awesome, Michelle. Appreciate you, buddy. Enjoy the Sunshine Coast.
Thank you.
Okay, where Michelle is, in case anybody doesn't know where the Sunshine Coast is, you should immediately be jealous because it is absolutely to die for. Been there many times. Okay, so Troy is asking. Troy's new, so why don't we open him up anyways? Troy, we're going to open you up. Very simple question, but you just want to get access to the software, do you, Troy?
Yeah. As I said, I'm just going through all the different modules of training and stuff, and I want to get my hands on this. This is good stuff.
Awesome. Pat, you just have just PAS. Could you just pull that up for us, please, Pat?
I'm gonna give you a PAS request. Just hang on a sec. I'm gonna bring up the oh, there it is. Okay. So let me bring this up.
Oh, there we go. Boom. Can you see that, Troy?
Oh yeah, PAS request.
Yeah, PAS request. Yeah, there you go.
And it's restricted here, but when you go here, just type in all caps PAS.
Oh, just in that box there?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Cool.
How's it all going so far, Troy? All good?
Yeah, good. Yeah, there's a lot of information in there, and I'm looking forward to. I think I've got my last call next week, and getting into it. So, I mean, Michelle was on the Sunshine Coast. I'm on the Gold Coast.
Oh, are you? Oh, what? The Gold Coast, Coolangatta, baby. Oh my God, I had some fun times in Coolangatta.
Up the road from Coolangatta.
Are you? Where are you?
Palm Beach.
We don't like you either. There you go. You hanging out on the beach? We should all be hanging out on the beach.
Yeah,
Pat and I are hanging out. There's gray skies out there.
Yeah, well,
no
sunny skies and blue here today. So.
All right, you're a legend. Okay, awesome, Troy. Welcome aboard, man. Appreciate you jumping on board. And how am I doing here, Pat? Is there anything I'm missing here? Actually, I think George, I think you had a question. You may or may not have put your hand down. I'm going to open you up, George. We're coming for you, buddy. There he is. George, you're live.
Hey, Carl, Pat, how are you guys?
Fabulous.
Thanks. I mean, The answer may have been already answered though, but if you go to the email marketing that he showed earlier, Pat, and the ABCD, which is the educational part or the roadmap, if you want to call it.
Yep.
The text, not the roadmap image, but not the chart, but the text. I understand when you mentioned that when we go to the digital marketing, our best bet is to work with someone. But just to make sure that if you go, let's say, to one of them, I noticed that you say one of the steps, I think it was in the landing page, let's say, you explain a little bit in few steps what needs to be done on the landing page. But the question is, do we have in our coaching center anything that we can provide to back up a little bit in terms of helping in the implementation?
Okay, so a couple answers here. One is, because this is brand new, we don't have specifically things in here that you go, here's exactly where you go to do this. And it's quite detailed for all of digital marketing. And the second problem is it's very diverse and complex. So that's kind of one answer. On the other answer, there are certain things like right through the e-learning marketing system where we talk about how to build a landing page, and there's resources for all those things and templates. So yes, we do have some of those, but I think what we could do and take this to a different level is, and this is something maybe Carl we could talk about as another whack-a-mole project for me.
Yeah.
We go through here, we build this complete training in this to say, okay, here's different things, what you do, where you go, here's the different resources we have available for this, and we could build this out more fully. So again, I think, what we originally did was we built this for digital marketers, people who are already comfortable. And for most people, they already have the resources to do, they already have their steps of what they do. We're kind of just maybe more systematizing everything. But I think what I'm seeing, Carl, is that it might be helpful if we're actually leading people through the process as well.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And I think that's probably going to be inevitable.
I mean, I'll tell you, one of my question is, I mean, I am very familiar with the digital marketing, and I'm very happy that you guys added that to the software. And I can entertain or engage discussion about digital marketing, but I'm using, let's say, GetResponse, which is one of the good email marketing platform. And they do have a lot of template that I can generate landing pages and all this. But even though there are a lot of templates, believe it or not, sometimes I look at, okay, which one I'm gonna pick? Because none of them actually suits exactly or follow, if you want, our marketing equation formula. So in other words, if we are able to tie in the marketing domination position with our compelling offer to a landing page, then bingo, I can add this to my template in GetResponse, and I can use it every time. I don't know if you.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Making sense.
Yeah, I've used, and I still use GetResponse. I've used it for about 10 years. I really like using it, but you're right, the landing page templates that they use don't follow the conversion equation that we use. So there's a bit of a mismatch there. So you actually have to go and build your template from start.
Exactly. And then we go into the fall of we are not well, at least me, I'm not a copywriter, and then it takes me forever to generate some content.
Yeah, well, that's the challenge of the marketing world we live in. And Gary Dampit did it very well before. Maybe we need to focus on being the strategist and not the technician. Because even myself, I think, oh man, well, I could create that website, and I could hook up all a GetResponse campaign. Oh, and I can hook it up to webinar platforms and all that stuff. And then I just think, give your head a shake. You're the strategist. Okay, think about this. If you can find, what are you worth? First of all, you think, what am I worth? Let's say I'm thinking I'm worth $250 an hour, and if I'm going to be a consultant. Let's just put that as a baseline, 250 an hour. Now, should I be doing work that I can hire someone else out at $7.50 an hour from India to do that work, even though I have to babysit them a little bit? Should I be doing $7.50 an hour when I'm worth $250 an hour? You should not be doing $7.50 an hour. You should find yourself someone to do that work, India, Philippines, wherever, and get them to do it, and you tell them what you want them to do, and you focus on the strategic work that pays you the $7.50 an hour, or else you're never going to get six figures. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Awesome. Cool. Great question.
you know, a long time ago, I lived in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, and when I'd go into a meeting in the city, I'd live outside the city near the UN, the American Embassy. Anyone knows Kenya? I'd take a trip into the city, and often it was a 2-hour trip. I'm like, hey, that's 2 hours in, fighting traffic. It's 2 hours home. Why am I doing this? So what I did was I hired a driver, and I sat in the back seat, and I worked for 2 hours going and 2 hours coming home. And I hired someone who could do it for like $3 an hour, who loved the job and said, thank you very much for the job, and let them drive me to work. I did consulting in Indonesia for several months, and it was exactly the same thing, going into Jakarta with 20 million people, 2-hour commute. So why would I drive myself when I'm worth 250 an hour? When, 2 hours, I'd pay the guy $20 in the end for that trip and say, hey, thanks, I'll see you later today. It makes no sense to do that. So focus on the work that you can do strategically, and let someone else at $10 an hour, $15 an hour do the stuff that you can't do.
Okay.
So I'm preaching to myself too, by the way, so I'm not just preaching.
No, perfect. And George, did you have another question? Your hand's gone back up.
No, sorry, it's my mistake. I'm done. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Okay, buddy. Great question. And I just want to remind you, one of the things you got to make sure you do is you got to maintain control. You got to be, so when you take on that client, what we said earlier, that you're going to farm out this work, you don't want to farm out control as well. That is, by the way, not always going to be possible, depending upon the relationship and what we're talking about in terms of, what the other party's going to be doing, but you want to maintain control in a perfect world. Okay, who else do we got here? I got somebody I need everybody to meet. My buddy Barry. Hang on a sec. Barry, I'm coming for you, man. You're self-muted. You got to unmute yourself. Everybody needs to meet Barry. Meet Barry.
Beat Mary. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Beat Mary is what I said. There he is. There's Beat Mary. Oh, Barry, what's going on, buddy?
How's it going, boys?
Good, man. Our new recruit, Barry Hughes. This guy's we're all gonna know who Barry is in about 5 months. Is my expectation here. That's what's gonna happen. Correct, Barry?
Well, as much as I appreciate the flattering introduction, I like to sort of let's judge it in 5 months. I'm gonna kill it, but I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, okay. I love it. How's it going? What do you think so far? What do you think of the software? Have you had a chance have you got into the software yet?
I'm actually playing around right now at the email that I've just got unlocked through the spam there. So I've been playing around with different things and starting to look at my domain names and stuff like that. I've been more playing around with sort of getting things set up here.
You beauty. Okay, buddy. Anyways, good to have you here, man. Thanks for jumping on, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. Thanks.
No worries, man. I'm going to put you back on mute. Okay, Christine has got her hand up. Christine, we're coming for you. You are self-muted, my love. There she is.
Hey there.
Christine.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Carl. I just want you to know my birthday was last Thursday.
Oh, there we go. Darn. Libra?
Yeah.
That's it. Keep everything balanced. You got to keep it balanced, Christine. Very important.
Oh,
very
yeah.
important.
Way. Very big time. So I just got off a call with a potential coach, and he asked a couple of questions that I couldn't answer. So one of them was, if you're doing the a PAS with somebody, like the Jumpstart, and you get the results, and then during the implementation period, something in their environment changes. Would you go back and redo the PAS, the PA?
Yeah. You wouldn't redo the whole process. You just reconfigure the implementation steps and the priorities. So no, there's no need to. And in some cases, something's going to get ruled out entirely, right? Like there could be an environment. Let's say that. What's an example? Like we were talking about Facebook, online marketing and Facebook marketing. Just imagine if you were advertising on Facebook right now, which we are, and the environment changes. What would that look like? Let's say that there happened to be an election going on somewhere. Possibly that could be happening, right? You see how that's going to change the environment. So things change a little bit, right? The same thing's going to go with, things within their business. There's a pandemic and they own a restaurant. Your priorities and your game plan changes. Oh, you got to throw out the old roadmap and you got to almost create a new one, or you got to probably throw out your top priorities. And, the new priority is that you got to work out a way to do delivery, and have people do drive-by pickups, so phone orders and drive-by pickups real quick. You follow me? So it's a realignment of the implementation as opposed to go in and redo the process.
Redo the whole thing. Okay. So I sort of got it right, but anyway, another question was when I was doing my test so that I could show him an example and now this is in the profit the profit acceleration, not in the digital profit.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was under pricing where I changed but when you ask the question, is this, if you increase your price by this amount, how many customers do you think you're going to lose? And if they say, when I clicked on no, it brought up some questions, but when I clicked on yes, do you think you're going to lose more than whatever number? When I clicked on yes, nothing happened, or I couldn't see what happened.
Yeah.
Well, nothing really does happen, right?
Nothing, sir. No, nothing happens.
It's just a good question to ask them because it disrupts them because they're.
So
you follow?
Okay, so I'm not.
Sorry, go ahead.
So if they said, and the example that I used, it was like they would lose 13 or more. They'd have to lose 13 or more people to not maintain that net profit. And if they said yes to that question, do you think that was yes? So what do I say to that?
Okay, well, let's not do it then. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's the whole concept, and you can look it up on Wikipedia or what's the Investopedia. It's called price elasticity of demand. And some companies, some industries are price elastic and some are inelastic. So without going into explanation of that right now, and I'd probably have to look it up again. If some companies, if you raise their prices by 1%, they could go out of business. And it's not normally that's the case, but it's very sensitive. And so you've got to be very careful how you do this, and just don't assume you can raise prices 5 or 10%. Now you might get away with it, but in some industries, you might get crushed by it. And when you're going to play with your customers, your clients' pricing, go through the implementation steps, how to do that. But yeah, some it's like, no, you can't raise it by 3%. You lose your business. It's like, okay, well, let's just stay away from that.
Yep.
Right.
Often you'll come into.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Sometimes you'll come into it.
Oh, Pat, can I just, and I also want to make, you may have said this, but let's say, Christine, that they have 100 clients. And then the answer is, I don't know what's going to happen if I raise my prices by 10%. Okay, do we go to all 100 clients and raise the price, right? Or do we do a test? You go to 10 clients, see what kind of reaction you get, and then you go to 25 clients, see if the reaction is still consistent with the first 10, and then you potentially go to all 100 or all 1,000 clients, but you don't do it all at once. That would be a strategic error. That's why they need you. Okay, make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Perfect. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Beautiful. Okay, Christine, great questions. We put you back on mute. Pat, how we doing here, bud? Anything else to chime in with?
Well, I was going to say something, but my train of thought got derailed.
It happens. Happens to me, but once every hour, like not every 10 minutes. Okay, I think and before we go, okay, guys, we're pretty much done. No more questions here. But Pat, just in case somebody wasn't on the call, do you want to just show them that results analysis? Want to make sure that everybody just saw that, and maybe we'll end it off with that. I think pretty powerful little tool.
So you're going to be on your home screen. Let me just move this aside. You can see my screen, okay?
Yep.
So you're on the home screen. Right now, a dashboard, new company, new assessment, and results analysis. It's this new little link here. You can click on that. What we're trying to do here is, was it John?
Yeah, John Kosar. He's not here,
John
but
Kosar suggested this, and we thought, what a great idea. It's really a sales tool for us as well. So some people go, like, what results have you produced in the in the past for clients? And I've had that before, and unless you have it ready to go, it's kind of hum and haw a little bit. So we wanted to do something that we could show this instantly. So in here, you click the dates that you want it to assess. And I will do these dates. And in that time, these are all dummy companies, of course, but in that time, I've done 3 companies. We don't actually show their name because we want to protect their, we have client confidentiality. But it just comes up company 1, company 2, company 3. If you've done more than one assessment for a company, it will take the one with the highest impact. So it just defaults to that. So it shows their starting revenue, their revenue increase that you found them. And you can say, I found this company $427,000. Whether you actually help them do that or not is up to you to how you articulate that. But at least you can say, look, I found this company $427,000 of found money, perhaps. This is the increase as a percent. And then down below, you say, hey, over these 3 companies, I found them a total of $689,828.28. And here, increases of revenue. The average revenue increase I've found these 3 companies is 25%. So then you have starting profit. We do the same for profit increase, and then increase as a percent. Down below, it's got this interactive chart here. So we're going to change these colors up. I don't like the colors. But originally, this company's making $1 million with $200,000 profit. And here we're going to make them 1.47 million and $441,000 profit. And then this here is your coaching fee on the end. Different coaching fees, depending on what you charge them, it brings it in automatically from that profile. And over here, summary numbers, we're going to make these bolder, but average revenue increase 25%, average profit increase 86%. Average ROI from coaching services from your profit increase, 587.55%. So this is kind of like the money page here. This is say, look, this is what I've done for 3 companies in this price range. And we'll be able to print that, we'll download it, and we're also going to be able to email it. The email button's coming soon. So, so that is the analysis. Awesome. Very powerful tool.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to, Pat, just so imagine, guys, you're sitting in front of an account, like how are you going to use it? You're sitting in front of an accountant, and he's, you're talking about the software, to do how amazing it is, 497 million weighted algorithmic sequences, yada. And then it's like, well, let me give you an example. And then you click this results analysis and you spit out the numbers that Pat basically spit out. Like I've been doing this for, let me just give you a results that I've got over the last month. So I've sat with 3 companies. You can see 1, 2, and 3. Their starting revenue on average is X. The revenue increase is X, 689,000. Again, they're starting. Anyways, you just say everything Pat just said, but imagine how powerful that would be. And that's going to get the attention of any joint venture partner or any business owner for that matter. So very good job. Love it. Cool. So Pat, I think that's it, buddy. What do you think, man? Anything else here before we shut her down?
Well, this will look different a little bit tomorrow. So the best way to get the updates to make sure you have the latest, again, Just when you log, you just log out after every session and do a hard refresh, which is a Control-Shift-R. That makes sure you have the latest update of the software. Today we're on 4.1.1 in the bottom right corner. Tomorrow it might be 4.1.2. We'll see what happens. And so that's happening. And I tell you, starting Monday, William is on another project. And I bet you in a couple weeks, we're going to bring you another beautiful update. It's like a new tool. And you're going to go, oh, thank you, Pat and Paul and William. We love you. We're naming our children after you.
Whoa, damn. Next level.
Next level. This is good. It's just going to keep going. We are on a steamroll of adding new things, adding new tools, and I love it. So looking forward to delivering those.
Awesome. Hey, in closing, could you just show them, so anybody that doesn't have digital acceleration or somebody that might have missed last night's call, can you just show them how to upgrade to the digital acceleration?
Okay, so I think it's maybe one of this.
DA.
Yeah.
There it is. DA software. So guys, if you want digital acceleration, it's not automatically on your software. It's a one-time upgrade fee. So just scroll down for me. So you're just going to our domain name /DA software. That's digital acceleration, right? So DA software, and you just click get it here, and bingo, bango, bongo, you'll be upgraded, and the guys will add it to your software, so you'll have it. So just an FYI, if you're listening to the recording where you were here and you don't have it, that's where you go, DA software.
Yeah, first of all, though, it helps if you request the software, because then I get all your details. So you come into this form, the password is PAS, uppercase, and then I get the details of your account. I can set you up, and then you can also then request the digital if you want it, and then I just go and add that to your account. I have to have this one first before I do the other one. So
yeah, okay. Good stuff. Well, there we go. Okay, Pat, always appreciate you, buddy, and everybody that was here. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate all of the questions. So that's it for this week for Profit Acceleration Q&A, and we will see you next Tuesday. So thanks so much, folks, and we'll see you next week.